Okay, hey everybody. Today is the 23rd of December, 2025, and in this video I'm going to be solving today's Pimantle. This is part of my broader efforts um, to train my cognition by explicitly verbalizing my thoughts, and of course having fun in the process. So yeah, and this also serves as documentation. So here we go. Um, so let's enter a guess. So yesterday, I the way I approached it was by categorizing words as nouns, verbs, adjectives, etc. I think I will do the same today as well, and I'll see every day how um, my uh, approach changes. Um, let's start with, is it an animal? Any chance? Animal is cold. Okay, it's not freezing, so it could be an animal. Is it a thing? Yeah, of course. The comparison doesn't quite work this way. That is, the similarity metric used doesn't actually ask whether the chosen word is a thing. Rather, it just compares the similarity of the word. So I don't think my intuition tells me that this is not going to work. But, or it might actually work, but for more precise categories. Um, what about computer? Computer is freezing. Okay. What about type? I wonder what type this is. Is it type on a keyboard or is it a type as in um, a, um, something that a category type? I wonder what it is. Hmm. But type seems to be closer than animal. Let's see if, okay. Right. But type, if it's the category form, um, it's as vague as say thing, so I don't think I can build off of anything there. So let's see, type. Um, what would be type category? Perhaps species. Species is cold, and keyboard is closer than species. Okay, so species is basically refers to a type of living organisms. It's a category of living organisms um, that biologically are similar in a specifically defined way. Could it be an adjective? Or what about yesterday? It was a flail, which was similar to shout and scream for some reason. Okay, so shout is frigid, which is better than freezing, but worse than cold. Um, what about watch? Interesting. Watch is chilly. Okay. Um, time. Wow, time is freezing. So watch, maybe you're looking at something. So look is cold, but it could also mean a watch which displays the time. Hmm. Watch and type an animal. Okay, let's try different categories of things. What about house? House is cool. Okay, there we go. So house is the best we've got so far. Um, I think apartment is going to be very similar. What is similar to house type, etc.? Mansion? But that would make house a lot closer than it currently is. So it's probably not mansion. I wonder if it's house or house. House something as a verb or house as a noun. Um, Maybe a kennel. A kennel is a place where animals are trained, I believe, where dogs specifically are trained. But it's probably not right. Right, it's frigid. Not freezing, however, so I wonder what that means. Maybe room? Room is cold. Okay. Room, house, something broader. Maybe city? Okay. Um, what about school? Wow. Okay. What about a barn? A barn is a shed where animals are kept, and that's frigid. Okay. Um, Maybe a farm? But I think city would have been closer. Okay. So house is the best we've got so far. What about a swimming pool? So a pool, but would that be similar to watch or type in anywhere? But granted, these are chilly and not things to be considered, uh, or are best not considered with too much weight. There we go. Pool. Okay. So it's probably something in, it could be something inside a house. Um, Furniture, I assume. Clock. Oh, okay. Swim doesn't work either. What is similar to pool house type watch? I could try furniture. I think I might have tried furniture. What about a desk? Oh, desk is even closer. Okay. Um, Maybe chair, but that's probably as close as desk. Right. Could it be a chair? Could it be something similar to a deck chair? That seems similar to house and pool, but that's good. Desk Um, is closer is closer than other options. What about a monitor? This is probably going to be cold, but yeah, monitor is probably going to be cold, but I thought I had to um, try it. What about a glass? Glass is chilly. Okay. Glass is chilly. So I'm thinking of a tumbler glass. Desk, pool, house. Desk, pool, house. Desk. I don't know, a computer, but a computer was far away. Chair, I should probably try chair. Whoa, okay. Interesting. I didn't consider trying chair because I assumed chair and desk would be very close to one another. And it's something of, other than chair and um, desk. Maybe a book, but um, but a book would probably be similar to school, so I don't know what the similarity metric is. Keyboard, animal, glass, house, pool. We can try book. Wow. Okay. Book took us all the way to the outskirts of the swirl, which is freezing. Wow. Okay. So chair was our closest um, guess so far. Seat. Oh, okay. So chair, pool, house. What about couch? Couch is cool. Okay. Um, what about a mat? Interesting. But chair is the closest one. Um, Seat, but a seat is just another form. Yeah, it's a different term for chair. I'm not sure what the precise connotation of how the precise connotation of a seat differs from that of a chair, but a seat, I assume, in my mind, doesn't have a back. Seat is chilly. Okay. Chair. What about toilet? It's similar to pool, chair. Toilet doesn't cut it. Okay. Um, what about a shelf? But it's not, it's in no way similar to pool, so okay. So mat and chair are our closest things so far. So what is similar to chair? I don't know, like a table, but hmm, mat. Couch. What are other components of a house? We have a living room, we have a dining room, we have bedrooms. So maybe a bed, but I'm not sure what pool would be close to. Wow. Okay. Okay. Maybe a mirror. Okay. What is similar to chair, mirror, and bed? Maybe vanity mirror. That is a mirror in front of which typically a woman sits and applies makeup. Um, Chair. Chair, mirror, bed. Maybe a side table, but I don't think that's. that would have made table quite close to itself. So I don't think that's a and plus I don't think that's a word. That's one word. It's a term made of two words. Chair, um, maybe a lamp. Lamp is cool. Okay. Um, but maybe a mattress, but mirror and mattress. Okay. Why would mattress and mirror be close to one another? It's warm, toasty. Okay. Chair. It could be something not in a house as well. It could be something outside of a house as well. Um, maybe a cupboard? Okay, cupboard doesn't work. A cabinet or a shelf. But a cupboard has shelf, so shelf is not going to work either. Okay, so shelf doesn't work either. Um, oh, so shelf is something that I've already tried. Gosh, I don't remember trying it. Interesting. It's probably not a bathroom. It's probably not bathroom because toilet would have been closer. Chair is interesting. I can't quite think of anything apart from a couch that would be similar to a chair. A couch and a bed. Um, maybe a leg rest. Oh, that is not a word. Um, maybe a barcalounger. Barcalounger doesn't exist as a word. Let me look it up actually. I could be misspelling it, so barcalounger recliner. Okay, let's try recliner. Recliner is chilly, which makes sense. Couch and recliner are, it's a recliner. Okay. Sofa I think is going to be similar to couch. Um, center table. But that would have been closer to table. Side table, which doesn't exist as a word. Yeah, I think I went over that. It's two different words and function as a term instead. What about headboard? The headboard of a bed. It's probably an item of furniture, I think. What about painting? Painting is frigid. Wow. Um, chair, water, I feel But water isn't related to chair in any way, but that is an option because of pool. But what about electricity that's needed for um, a, a lamp? Electricity, but it doesn't quite fit in with other words. Maybe a towel? Okay, we're getting there. A towel. But yeah, of course, it's qualitatively different than a chair, and therefore it's on a different swirl. But chair, towel, mattress, mirror, bed. Towel. What's similar to chair and towel? Maybe upholstery. Um, I could be getting this spelling wrong, but um, okay, so that doesn't work. Interesting. So chair and towel. And a towel is like right behind chair. What is similar to a chair and a towel? Maybe a hook that holds things. A rack, but I think shelf would have been close. Chair. Chair towel. Towel, towel, chair. Mirror is quite close as well. Maybe a pen stand of sorts. But okay, so I think I can disregard pool at this point. Um, pen stand or a what about a cup? Have I tried anything related to cup? Um, no. But I don't see how that would be related to chair and towel. Um, so cup is an option. Um, cup, pen stand. I don't know what a pen stand is called. Uh, Basically, a hollow cylinder or a stand that holds a pen. Stand. Okay. Um, yeah, so these are pen stands, but I think there is too much ambiguity in the spelling of pen stand, whether it's like two terms or one term. So I don't think that's an option. So I'm gonna try cup. It's cold. Let's just give pen stand a try. Okay, that doesn't work. Um, what about a cushion? Hmm. Chair and towel kind of remind me of, well, we put a covering over a couch at times to make it look better. Um, but that would be too specific a word, which I don't think many people would be aware of. Uh, what about leather? But how would it be related to towel, though? Um, yeah, I should have thought about that a little more. Chair, towel. What is the covering that covering on a couch? What is the sheet that is used to cover a couch, either for decoration or for protective purposes? Um, Maybe a sink, but I think the toilet would have been closer. Um, but I'm not sure if a sink specifically refers to well, uh, whether the basin, the wash basin in a kitchen, or if it refers to a wash, a wet, or it can also refer to a wash basin in a bathroom. Um, right. Let me look up sink. So I'm looking for the noun form. A stationary basin connected with a drain and usually a supply for washing and drainage. Yeah. So I think sink is what I'm looking for. But I think wash basin is probably an Indian uh, term. Wash bowl. Oh, it's okay. So the sink. Okay, I'll look into this later. But chair, towel. Um, could it be related to makeup? Because you use a towel, chair, and you sit. You could sit on a mattress. Um, Towel, mattress, mirror, bed. It's not cupboard, which is interesting. Um, could it be a cabinet? How is a cabinet different from a cupboard? Well, a cupboard opens usually, but a cabinet has doors. So let's try cabinet. Cabinet is cold. Hmm. Chair. Hmm. Right. What about a box? What about a chest? Right. A chest doesn't work. Um, what about storage under a bed? Bed storage, chest, floor mat. Mat is pretty close, or it's one of the closer options we have, but it could be quite far away. I'm going through different things in my own room in order to guess what this could be. So I have a desk, I have a chair, I have a bed with a mattress, I have a fan, I have a laundry hamper. Mm, is it at all related to laundry? Interesting. Maybe a basket? Okay. Tepid. Basket is tepid. Okay, so I have a laundry hamper, I have a laundry basket. It's probably not hamper. Oh, interesting. Why is hamper is a kind of basket, no? Why is it frigid? Maybe there is another meaning of hamper that word 2 back uses. I have a cupboard. I have an organizer, maybe a book stand, but shelf would have been close. And I think I've tried book already. I've tried hook, look, painting, book, right? And book is freezing. Wow. Okay. Um, Maybe a mug, but right. I think I shelved cup for a bit. So let's try cup. Cup, mug. Okay. Maybe a bucket. I don't know why one would have a bucket in a room, but wait a second. Chair, towel, mattress. Mattress. Why is mattress toasty? Maybe a pillow? Maybe. Okay. We're. What about a bed sheet? Hmm. It's interesting that chair, towel, and pillow are all similar. Um, Maybe a pillowcase? Pillowcase is toasty too. Okay. What could this be? Blanket. What about blanket? Oh, there we go. How is blanket related to chair? Or yeah, so both of these are probably related to another word, and they could potentially not be related to one another. But blanket is number 8, which is good, which means we're getting somewhere. Blanket. What about a plush? A plush is a small blanket used in, it's basically like a small blanket for areas other than um, the bed. Okay. Plush is very far away, which is interesting. I hope I haven't gotten I, I'm not getting the definition of plush wrong. A fabric with an even pile that is longer and less dense than velvet pile. And walls. Right. I actually don't, I'm not very familiar with different kinds of fabric, but right. Throw. Plush blankets and throw. I think throw is the word I'm looking for. Throw, that would be related to, a light coverlet as for a bed. Let's try throw. Wow. Okay, so this is likely using the verb form of the word throw. So um, chair, towel, pillow, blanket. So these are all different kinds of coverings, but except chair. But upholstery doesn't seem to work. Blanket. Blanket is interesting. What could be similar to a blanket? Well, drawers, but I think cupboard and cabinet would have been closer if drawers were the answer. Um, Blanket, maybe a bolster. So in India, we have this concept of a bolster, which is a long, sturdy pillow, essentially a long, sturdy pillow for um, support for support. But I think cushion would have been uh, closer. But yeah, is bolster a common word in America? Bolster, a long pillow or a cushion. Interesting. But I think cushion would have been closer then. A long pillow or a cushion. Okay. Bolster doesn't work. What about bedstead? Right. I don't know what a bedstead is, but the framework of a bed. Interesting. The framework. So everything except the mattress, I suppose. Bedstead is chilly. Okay. So there are two kinds of bed sheets. We have bed sheets that have elastic around the edges so as to wrap the bed sheets themselves and don't require manual folding of the edges under the bed sheet in order to keep the bed sheet in place. Um, I forget what the term for that is, but I don't think it's that. I think it might be something else. Blanket, blanket, no. Lamp, headboard, mattress, pillowcase. But it's interesting that blanket is number 8, which means that it is close. But I wonder if this 40 is out of 50 or out of 100. Because if it's out of 100, blanket is so very different from whatever the chosen word is. So I think this is the closest we've gotten so far. Blanket, chair. Hmm. Maybe clothing? Um, or a night dress? Or what about pajamas? Pajamas, clothing, but I don't think blanket would be very close to pajamas. And what is chair all about, right? But I think I should rule out pajamas, and there was another word, night dress, but that's what a pajamas that's what pajamas are. Oh, what about a shoe? What about an indoor shoe of sorts? Um, Sandal? Maybe sandals? Sandal, okay. Footwear? Um, Pajamas is cool. Okay. Blanket, yeah, it's something to do with bed, I feel. Uh, but it is quite interesting. Gosh, what could it be? What are other things on a bed? You have pillows, blankets, bed sheets. Um, wait, maybe a comforter, which is a type of a blanket. It's a type of quilted blanket. Um, maybe this reminds me of when you're not going to use a house, you try to cover everything with large white bed sheets. I've seen that in movies in order to prevent accumulation on dust on their surfaces. So, what is a large covering called? Um, covering something that covers, or yeah, white coverings, but those are typically just white bed sheets. No. Well, maybe a futon, or a shikibuton, which is a kind of bed that the Japanese use. Hmm. It's not a bedstead. Blanket, maybe something to do with keeping one warm. So air conditioner? But let me try heater. Heater is cold. Okay. Um, Side table, I've tried it. It doesn't work. There is no such word. I think I should try drawer, but I think cupboard and cabinet should have worked. Um, Drawer is cold, of course, similar to the words cupboard and a cabinet. Organizer, chest, I feel should have worked. Mhm. Clothing. Oh, right. I think clothing was another. Have I tried clothing? Right. Let's try clothing. Clothing is warm. Maybe a jacket. Jacket is hot. Okay. Maybe a sleeping pod. Um, maybe a winter hat. Sorts. Hat. Interesting. So hat is number 31. It's closer than chair. Hat. What is similar to a blanket and a hat? And a jacket. Is it something that one wears? What about a shawl? Right. I think shawl was not the word I was going for. I think scarf is what I was going for. But I think they mean the same thing. Scarf, shawl. Okay. Hmm. Wow, I wonder why chair is thrown in here. The chair is the only non-covering here. Is the only non is the only thing that doesn't cover one. Uh, what about thermals? Thermals, I guess. Thermals protect one from the cold. Jacket, down jacket. Um, it's probably not boots, because I tried shoes, I think. Okay. So what were the options? The options were shoes. Shoes. What are other things that one wears to protect themselves from the cold? I think a boot. Wow, okay. Boot is not close at all. Probably because it's unrelated to chair and blanket. It's some sort of fabric covering. Thermal. Okay. Thermals is chilly. Blanket. So blanket is close. Blanket, and I think I should build off of blanket somehow. Blanket, what could it be? When I get into a bed and I cover myself to protect myself from the cold, I use a comforter, or typically a comforter, or a thick blanket, or a layer of thin blankets, a layer of two or more thin blankets. And it's not shoes, maybe socks, but shoes would have been closer if it were socks. And it's not scarf, but scarf and shawl are hot. What about gloves? Gloves is cool. Mm, yeah, I think the chair is what is throwing me off. How can I relate chair and hat together? Um, maybe it's a warmer of some kind. A sleeping bag or sleeping pod, sleeping bag, a tent. Yeah, it's something to do with the cold, but okay, so what has to do with cold and chair and sitting? Um, heated seats. So ventilated seats, which cars offer in order to protect people from cold seats. Yeah, I think sweater is going to be close. Sweater. Socks is going to be far, because shoes are far. Hoodie, probably not. It would rank the same as jacket. Earmuffs. What about earmuffs? But how is that related to chair? Earmuff is tepid. Um, Gloves doesn't work. Gloves is tepid too. Down pants, down jacket. It's not gonna work. Um, I think chair is what is throwing me off here. I don't know how could chair possibly be related to cold things, be related to things that protect one from the cold is in any different form than ventilated seats. So let's try to figure out a relationship between chair and cold, which doesn't have to do with ventilated seats. Blanket. Chair, cold. How do I relate chair and cold? I can't think of any other relation between chair and cold except a recliner, which I already tried. So a recliner, you can, well, take a blanket, you can sit on a recliner and cover yourself up to protect yourself from the cold. And this would be a lot more comfortable than sitting on a chair, a normal chair, which would make the cold a bit, um, uh, which on which you'll have to bear the cold a bit more. Blanket. It's not heater, is it? I think I did try heater. It's not heater. Vest, probably not. Thermal, I think thermals was tepid too. Yes, I think I've got to extend my working memory here and try to use notes of some kind. Um, so let's do that here. Uh, uh, is there a way to change the font size? It seems too small. But anyway, I think I can work with this. Although I do apologize if it's very small in the screen recording. Um, Something to do with chair, cold blanket. Something to do with chair, cold blanket. Something to do with chair, cold blanket. What could it be? Coffee. Coffee, but it's unrelated to blanket. I mean, I can think of curling up on a chair with a blanket, drinking coffee, but I don't think that's how the similarity algorithm works. Coffee is one option. What are other options? Is it some form of drink? What about chocolate? Chocolate could be another option. Hot chocolate. Sweater, bed, clothing. It's probably actually not coffee because I wonder why pillowcase and coffee would be toasty. But again, this could all be relative, right? It's actually not very similar, but in comparison to other things, it could be similar. But it would require the context that people typically use a pillowcase or a pillow. Yeah, I think no. Yeah, I think there's a lot of connections involved there. Um, I think kettle, but the problem with kettle is it doesn't match up with chair. And there should be a reason why a lot of these bed-related things are um, at the very close to this swirl. Oh, what about another another piece of furniture that's related to what about another piece of furniture? Because so on this swirl you have chair, on this swirl you have basket, this swirl you have chest, and you have cup here, but these are very far away. Futon, bed, mirror, and these are things that have to do with winter. Foam is because that's what things are made of. Mattresses are typically made of. Foam, cloth. Oh, could it be cloth? But I think I tried clothing or something of that sort. Painting school, amber, clock, bolster. Um, yeah, so let's try cloth. But I'm interested that cushion is not closer. Um, where is cushion? Clothing is clothing, there we go. That's warm. But cushion is cool, which is maybe a feather? So things that go inside. Feather, cotton, because all these things are made of, could be made of cotton. All right, so let's try cloth. Cloth is toasty. Um, cotton. Wow, okay. Um, feather is tepid. Coffee is, wow, coffee is frigid. Gosh, okay. So none of these worked, except that we now have cloth that's toasty. Cloth, fabric. What about quilt? Okay, that doesn't work. Quilt, what are different other forms of putting fabric or cloth, pieces of cloth together to create chairs? Upholstery should have worked. Upholstery, I would have expected upholstery to work. Okay, so I think I'm gonna need a hint. So let's get to 90 trays and then we can try to get a hint. Because I'm pretty close. It says I'm 8 away. So I wonder if this is out of 100 or if this is out of 50. But I can't quite think of anything related to blanket and winter items. I feel as though I believe that I've covered quite a lot of these of this type of item. Well, you could say mattress protector and pillow protector. That these are things that I use, but these are terms and not words. A napkin? Ah, okay. Um, cotton is not it. Maybe wool. Wool is chilly. What are other polyester is chilly. Interesting. Fabric, for lack of a better term or better word, fabric. Um, oh, what about fleece? Interesting. So fleece is kind of material that is used to make winter clothing. Um, I have no idea. I think this is a good time to get a hint. Affiliated? What? Chair affiliated? So affiliated is means you're somehow connected to something. And that's number 19. What could this possibly mean, affiliated? Because affiliated means connected to something. So blanket, affiliated hat, chair. So are these things affiliated to one another? But then affiliated is I uh, think of it in the more professional context when you're like, for example, a Twitch affiliate. Um, so you're connected to Twitch somehow and you get paid, and then the next stage is partner. Yeah, I typically use it in the professional setting and not, but that's a very Surprising word actually in this context. Affiliated. Gosh, affiliated. What could it possibly be? Affiliated hat, chair, towel, pillow, blanket, associated, connected. Um, but how is that related to blanket at all? Or blanket the verb? I don't know. So associated is a word I can try. Oh, is it affiliated? It is, but partner? Partner is warm. Okay. That's interesting. Oh, maybe like a pet, I guess. Oh, dog, but pet would have worked with dog. Oh, maybe winter, cold. All right, I'm gonna need another hint. It falls under the purview is um basically the list of duties that one is expected or one typically takes care of. But how does that have how is that related to blanket at all? Yeah, so that's the reason blanket is in a different swirl. Purview, prerogative, purview, responsibility. It's the purview of purview. Purview is like a list of basically if you say that something is the purview of, so if you say X is the purview of Y, it means that it's it falls in Y's responsibility and duties to um, handle and oversee X, or it's in their domain basically, or it falls under their scope. Scope, responsibility. Interesting. Responsibility, purview. Wow. What about shelter? Okay, I'm gonna need another hint. So rubric is a system for evaluating something. Okay, I'm gonna need another hint. I'm sorry. Awning? What on earth is an awning? I don't know what an awning is. A roof-like cover extending over or in front of a place, as over the deck, as a shelter. A roof-like cover extending over or in front of a place. So it's an awning. So I think I do understand what an awning is, but shed is not. Okay. Oh, wait a second. Um, what about a piece of cloth that covers a car? Um, greenhouse or green fabric to protect from sunblock mesh. So shade. Okay. What about shade? Hmm. Yeah, at this point, I'm just yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get it. I don't see how affiliated purview and rubric and awning are in any way related at all. Banner. Okay, I'm probably not gonna get it. So, yeah, this is me officially giving up on this problem, but I will not give up tomorrow. I will not give up um, continuing. I will not give up trying though. So I'm gonna keep trying it. I'm gonna keep trying this game itself. Maybe not this particular iteration of the game, but let's. Is there an option to give up? I do give up. Uh, average guess is 85. Wow. Okay. Um, is there a way to give up? Bumbershoot, offshoot, auspice. Oh, so this is aegis under his aegis or auspices under graces. Yeah, so I think awning is meant in a metaphorical fashion, but blanket is wow, what and how on earth are scarf and pillowcase and cloth related? Um, aegis is protection essentially, protection. Auspices is blessing of some sort under the auspices of a person. Basically, that person knows about it and supports it in some sense. Um, mentorship? Enter. Okay. I'm gonna. Okay, so this is actually out of 100, I suppose, and that's the reason it's 58. Um, ages is, well, protection and um, official affiliation of sorts. Patronage, auspices. Oh, patronage? Okay. Kindly patronage and guidance. Auspices, aegis, a shield or breastplate emblematic of majesty that was aegis. Aegis, okay. Sponsorship. Okay, I'm done. Umbrellas, parasol, acronym, brawly, entity, guise, like bannerman, soldier, raincoat? Wow, incredible. Oh, I think it's the marquee. Okay, how do I? So we have Semantle and Pimantle. This I think I've completed. Follow me, unofficial communities, support me. Let me try to see if the word is here. If the word is on the GitHub, source code doesn't appear to be. Oh, um, okay. Is there a way to get that? I have no idea what any of these words are. Canopy, I do know. So it's some form of covering. Um, yeah, but I think I can just look it up. Some sort of covering, um, like a green piece of fabric that protects like a car from sun, from the sun. What about, this is probably not gonna, yeah, it's got, I think, Pimantle. 1400 answer, December 2025. Okay, this is yeah, I think that this I've got to think about basically the similarity metric used. So I think I um glanced at words like cosine similarity and um some other things that were mentioned about how um hints work. I've got to process all of this, but I feel as though this is not um related to aegis or awning or sure it is, but yeah, I think I've just got to process whatever I've seen here. But yeah, this was I think a good experience. I'll see y'all tomorrow for the 1401 iteration of Pimantle. Thanks for watching.